Coach, I think a bit of a different one to the one that you've had in the previous round, because many say the best team in Africa, clearly the best team because they're the defending champions of South Africa. How do you the planning, the thinking? Can you beat them?
Look, my brother, for me, like you said, got a draw against a very difficult team, of course, one of the best teams in the continent, of course, like I said. And the most important thing is to allow our players an opportunity really to be at the stage with them, best team, better players or great players from Mamelodi Sundowns, and really to learn and share the space and compete. And more than anything, not to put pressure on them. Our plan is very simple, is to do things that we feel they've been working for us throughout this campaign. And though we know that tactically on the day we'll have to be very superb, and it's what we are going to work on. But ultimately the game belongs to players. It's opportunity for players to showcase their talent.
When you look back now, are you encouraged by what you saw from, say, Magesi United putting on a fight against the Sundowns to show that, and I'm sure that there are some good things that you've seen. So were you in retrospect more encouraged?
Yeah, look, we to be honest, as professionals, we need to always be motivated, facing the challenges that come upon us, and that's how you make a mark, in my view. And yes, Magesi, to be honest, yesterday I thought 60th, 70th minute they've done well. They stuck to the plan. Players applied themselves very well. It was very impressive from Magesi on the day. And of course, last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, that's where obviously a loophole came in. Of course, when you play against a great team like Mamelodi Sundowns, those things are expected to happen once or twice, and it depends on how you're going to react defensively. But of course, also we have our way of playing, things that we feel like they're working for us, and we are going to more emphasize on them. But more than anything, to take pressure off the players, I want them to enjoy this moment. I want them to make a mark for themselves, playing against the best team in the continent and playing against the great players of Mamelodi Sundowns.
So what are those things that work?
The
technique work or can work? Because you are saying there are things that you have that you feel can work, that you feel have
things that we've been we sitting second on the log now, 1 point behind number one. Things that we've been applying throughout the season are things that we have to apply against Mamelodi Sundowns and see what will be the turnout.
I think the things that we've been seeing is lots of late goals, lots of red cards, aggressive. So you think maybe bullying them to a potential upset?
Look, playing aggressively is part of our game. We are a little bit more direct in our approach, and our nature is we have to be aggressive. We take it from training. We are that type of a player. And at times it becomes unfortunate for us because we end up getting red cards, and some of them you can debate them, but aggression is part of our game. We play that way, irrespective of which opponent we are playing against. And in this case, you are going to play against very technically and tactically superb players of Mamelodi Sundowns, and whether on the day it will work, it shall be seen.
And coach,
Coach, so now that you're playing like Mamelodi Sundowns as well, and you've got a lot of youngsters fairly in your team as well, don't you think that it might be a bit of a challenge them playing against their role models, playing against the team that they also aspire to play for one day?
Yeah, look, my brother, you're quite correct. It can be a challenge, but at the same time, my responsibility as a coach is to go in and motivate them and say, if you want to be the best, you have to compete with the best. And I'm sure the players that are in Sundowns team now, they were aspiring to be like other players that used to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. And this is an opportunity for our players also to say, as much as this is a challenge, but also it's an opportunity for you to make an impression. It's more psychological to encourage them to say, if you don't take this opportunity to make a mark for yourself as a player, I don't know when you are going to have it, because you are playing against a great team, you are playing against great players. Make a mark, push yourself, show us what you are made of, and don't look back.
What is different about your team, coach? Because I saw Hungry Lions once Pirates scored, they dropped their heads. There was another, NFD side, Maritzburg as well, when they conceded first to Sundowns, heads, kind of dropped. They set even more deeper. But when you played Swallows and you scored, they scored, there was still that belief from your players that this one is still for the taking, and I think they were still even attacking more than Swallows. So what's different to, in the way that you do things, in the way that your players' mentality is compared to the other teams that we have seen so far?
Game of football, my brother, it's either you are going to score or you are going to be scored. And the most important thing is to prepare every moment within 90 minutes. And our preparation is that it's informed by that, to say if we score, we need to be solid and try to score second goal or try to be a little bit defensive. And if opponents score us, we don't have to drop our heads. We play 90 minutes. We still need to stick to our tactical principles on the day. And for me, it's more of that. Mentally work on these players, make them believe, make them see reality, and push them as much as you can. But ultimately for them to enjoy the moment and learn as much as possible.
And it's been a bit of a cat and mouse battle between you and Magesi. There are other teams also coming up. But I would think the bread and butter, your biggest focus is on the league. What's the approach, especially the last stretch after the FIFA break?
The approach is the same. Take one game at a time, and every game that we play is important, whether it be a training match, whether it be a Nedbank Cup, whether it be a league match. We've got enough players. We've signed enough players this season to compete, and anyone who is given opportunity, I doubt that he will take it for granted. All of them, they will come to party. All of them, they will compete, because like you said, some of them, they are still very young. They need this platform. They need this space to showcase their talent. I mean, before 2009 Nedbank, when we played against Moroka Swallows, nobody knew who is Andy Lejali, and Andy Lejali found himself in a platform like this, and he took it with two hands and he used it to his advantage.
So when do you start believing that you can win automatic promotion?
We started believing that before we could even start the league, that the automatic promotion is what we are gunning for. So even today we still believe that automatic promotion is what we want and what we desire.